Hello, everyone. Are you ready to take your English skills to the next level? Today, I'm excited to share some powerful tips and personal stories that helped me, and many others, become fluent in English. Whether you're just starting or looking to improve, this video is packed with practical advice, inspiration, and a bit of fun. So, make sure to watch till the end, because every tip counts on your journey to fluency. Fluency in English is a goal many people strive for, but it's not something that happens overnight. It's a process that requires patience, dedication, and daily practice. When I think back to my journey of learning English, I remember the struggles, the small victories, and the lessons that changed my life. I was a young student, much like you, eager to speak English fluently. But I was shy, and I made countless mistakes. One day, a teacher told me something that became a turning point in my journey. She said, "Fluency doesn't come all at once. It's like planting a tree. You have to nurture it every day." This advice stuck with me. From that moment, I realized if I wanted to achieve fluency, I had to treat it as a daily commitment, not just a far-off dream. The first step toward fluency is understanding the importance of practice. Just like a tree grows from a small seed, fluency starts with small, consistent efforts. Think of every practice session as watering the seed of your English skills. A student once came to me feeling defeated. "Teacher," she said, "I want to speak English, but I always forget the words." I smiled and reassured her, fluency isn't about memorizing every word. It's about using what you know and practicing every day. I encouraged her to find simple ways to practice. For instance, talking to friends in English helps build confidence. Listening to stories exposes you to sentence structures and new vocabulary. Singing songs makes learning fun and memorable. Gradually, she started enjoying the process. Each mistake became a stepping stone, and her fluency improved over time. Many people believe fluency means speaking quickly. However, true fluency is about clarity and confidence. I remember a boy in my class who spoke very fast but was often misunderstood. I told him, "Slow down, speak clearly, and use simple words. Fluency isn't a race." He followed my advice, and soon his words became more understandable. His confidence grew, and he began to enjoy speaking English. This showed me that fluency is not just about speed, it's about making others understand you. Stories have always been a powerful tool for learning English. When I was in school, I loved listening to my teacher read stories. I would repeat the words, even if I didn't understand them at first. Slowly, the words became familiar, and my vocabulary expanded. I often tell my students to use stories as a practice tool. One of my students, who struggled with English, started reading simple stories every night. At first, she didn't understand everything, but she kept going. Over time, her understanding improved, and she gained confidence in forming sentences. There's a secret to becoming fluent in English, and it's simpler than you think. Listen. Listening is the foundation of fluency. The more you listen, the more you absorb. I once had a student who loved music. She would listen to English songs daily and sing along. Over time, her fluency improved because she was constantly exposed to the language in a fun and engaging way. Mistakes are an inevitable part of learning, but they're also our greatest teachers. I had a student who was so afraid of making mistakes that she refused to speak. I told her, "Every mistake is a lesson. Don't let fear stop you from learning." One day, she gathered the courage to speak in class. She made many mistakes, but she didn't stop. Over time, her confidence grew, and she became one of the most fluent students in the class. This experience taught me that the key to fluency is not perfection, it's persistence. Fluency becomes easier when you train your mind to think in English. Many students struggle because they translate their thoughts from their native language into English. This process is slow and confusing. I once advised a student, "Even when you're alone, try to think in English. Describe your day, your plans, or anything around you in English." He practiced this daily, and soon his sentences became more natural. Thinking in English helps you speak more spontaneously and confidently. Practice daily. Treat fluency like growing a tree. Nurture it consistently. Focus on clarity. Speak slowly and clearly, prioritizing understanding over speed. Use stories and songs. They make learning enjoyable and improve listening skills. Embrace mistakes. Every mistake is a stepping stone to success. Train your mind to use English naturally in everyday situations. By starting with these small steps, you lay a strong foundation for your journey to fluency. Remember, fluency is a journey, not a destination. Celebrate your progress no matter how small and keep moving forward. Chapter 2: Advanced Techniques for Fluency. Once you've taken the first steps toward fluency, it's time to build on that foundation with more advanced techniques. These strategies will help you move beyond the basics and truly immerse yourself in the language. Remember, fluency isn't just about knowing the rules. It's about using English confidently in real-life situations. When I was learning English, I often felt stuck. I knew the grammar rules and basic vocabulary, but I struggled to speak naturally. It wasn't until I discovered these advanced techniques that my fluency improved. One of the most effective techniques is engaging in real-life conversations. Talking to native speakers or fluent English speakers allows you to practice in a natural setting. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Mistakes are part of the learning process. If you don't have access to native speakers, you can use language exchange apps or join online communities. I once had a student who was nervous about speaking English. I encouraged her to join a local English club. At first, she was shy, hesitant even, but over time her confidence grew. The conversations she had with others helped her improve her pronunciation, expand her vocabulary, and develop a natural speaking rhythm. Another powerful technique is setting specific goals for your learning. Instead of saying, "I want to be fluent in English," break this goal into smaller, measurable steps. For example, aim to learn 5 new words a day, have a 5-minute conversation in English, or write a short paragraph about your day. One of my students set a goal to watch 1 English movie every week. She started with subtitles to understand the dialogue, and gradually moved to watching without them. This not only improved her listening skills, but also helped her pick up new phrases and expressions. Staying motivated is crucial on the journey to fluency. It's easy to feel discouraged when progress seems slow, but remember, every small step brings you closer to your goal. Find ways to keep learning fun and engaging. Explore topics you're passionate about in English, whether it's sports, music, cooking, or travel. I remember a student who loved cooking. She started watching English cooking shows and reading recipes in English. This made learning enjoyable for her and improved her vocabulary in a specific area. Listening to English regularly is another key to fluency. Surround yourself with the language by listening to podcasts, audiobooks, or even the news. The more you listen, the more familiar you become with the natural flow of English. I often tell my students to choose topics that interest them. One student loved motivational speeches, so she began listening to them daily. Not only did this improve her listening skills, but it also inspired her to keep pushing forward in her learning journey. Pronunciation is another area where advanced learners can focus. Pay attention to how native speakers pronounce words, and try to mimic their intonation and stress patterns. Record yourself speaking and compare it to native speakers. This helps you identify areas for improvement and refine your speaking skills. Finally, immerse yourself in English as much as possible. Surround yourself with the language by reading books, watching shows, and thinking in English. The more you expose yourself to English, the more natural it will feel. One of my students decided to label everything in his house in English. This simple step made him think in English every day and helped him remember new words effortlessly. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to Pro English Skills for more interesting videos. Our videos cover English grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation, conversation, and much more to help you on your language learning journey. Discover the power of storytelling, expand your skills with graded readers, and take your English to the next level with us.